All right, here we go. Episode 4 of Moonlight, the long-awaited. So this is episode 3, and as soon as we are done incriminating Enzo, as long as we don't get incriminated by our suspicion filling up of either character, then we go into episode 4. So this is kind of a mock-up sheet I made, porting over some team skills, all the stats of a prior game I had played, minus the map. But this is our example sheet. So we will do one aspect of setup, which is to port over our savvy and nerve skill to resolve, which will be this box, this one, these 2 pips, this box, and then 2 more pips on this segment here. And that's it. That's all we need to do to set up for episode 4. Because episode 4 uses episode 3's right panel here. So we're going to use the same team skills, we're going to use the same calendar, and the same money. And that's going to go into here with the rest of the episode. So let's look at the new stuff this episode has. It has a high sheet, which I'll set to the side, like any other episode. It has a combat system over here, which will take place between either of our characters, Sly or Ghost, and any of the enforcers of the different quadrants. So in Rustwater, upper left, that's enforced by Mick Nash Finkus. He's up here. Lorenzo Skyline DeLuca is over here in Gravestone Terrace, and so on. So when we move in this episode, the city's at the edge of a riot, and the police aren't really doing their usual services. But the enforcers are out in force trying to defend their own territory, whereas we're attacking mafia-owned properties. And so each time we conclude an investigate action, we're going to create a patrol, either a diamond patrol for Ghost or a square patrol for Sly, that will then trigger a combat if our investigation path overlaps that at any time. In addition to or to supplement the combat rather, we're going to go visit Mortimer in his illicit market of weapons. So we can buy a katana, we can buy bulletproof armor, we can buy bullets and shotgun shells and things. The shotgun shells are actually for Mortimer to use a drive-by shooting service, but all the rest of the gear is for our characters. In this episode, we have 5 objectives. We got to find 8 vaults containing different intel and information about the mafia. We got to complete the big picture. So this is represented by these puzzle pieces. And whenever you search one of these unique locations that has the puzzle piece, you piece together a part of the bigger picture of what's going on, and you represent that by crossing off the corresponding shape. We have to burn down 4 mafia-held properties. So we aren't returning to the scene of the crime in the next morning as a detective in this episode. We're actually just staying a little bit later, pouring gas throughout the building and trying to burn it down. So the whole morning phase has been replaced with the what's called the arson phase in this, which puts a different twist on the heists. We've got to bring down 2 of the enforcers in combat, and they have more health than we do and generally are stronger, so it's kind of hard to do. And we got to get the hostages. So what carries over from prior episodes is the hostages and the vaults. So in the prior episode, in episode 3, I had taken 2 vaults, so I'm going to go and lower that. There are 5 total vaults you can get out of episode 3, but we'll say we got 2. And then we did not rescue the hostage in episode 1. We incriminated Big Louie, but we did find the hostage in episode 2. So we're going to just cross off Vera there. We don't have to rescue her, but we still got to rescue Whittles. Okay, that's our setup. So we just poured in what happened in the prior episodes, episode 1 and 2, and then episode 3 relates to the vaults. We pour over our skill here, and we actually use the episode 3 sheet as, all these other stats here. So let's go ahead, and don't mind the color of this. My printer's actually, I think, getting low on ink, so it's a little bit more faded looking. Okay, I think that is everything. So let's get started. So I ran the episode 3 quite long, so I only have less than 2 weeks to do all this stuff for this episode. Be a bit tight, but let's give it a shot. So I'm going to cross off a day on the calendar and continue. Okay, here we go. Let's see. We got any pairs? We have a pair of 3s. We start over here. I think we just throw our maximum dice into the movement first to get on the board. Yeah, we'll just zigzag down here. So we're going to do a walk action with Ghost and go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that will put a patrol at 5, 5. And now Ghost creates diamond patrols. And Sly creates square patrols. So that's a diamond patrol. Meaning if this overlapped our investigation path, we would have, at the end of this day phase, to have a confrontation between, in this case, Ghost and Dante Ace Centauro. Okay, cool. All right, so the hustle actions are a bit upgraded as well. Let's go and use our pair of 3s to go visit Mortimer, and we're going to gear up. So I'm going to buy, Ghost had $2,100 and Sly had $1,700. I think we each buy some body armor, so that knocks us down 300 apiece. We're going to go 18, 14 here. They're each going to circle a body armor, so now they get some extra survivability in combat. We're going to buy as much ammo as we can carry, which is 4 a pop. So we're going to fill in the ammo by filling in the center of the chamber for each of them. And that's going to be $400 across the board for each of them. So he goes down to 14 and 10. I could have done this all at once too, but just indicating the cost of things here. Now you have $1,400 and $1,000 here. So let's go and buy a katana for Ghost. He's down to $400. And we just put a line around this katana, meaning he has a katana. It's not a consumable, so he'll have it for the rest of the round. But he's down to $400. And we'll actually spend almost all of Sly's money. We'll leave him with $100 left. We'll spend 900 of it on buying pairs of shotgun shells. So you get 2 for 300, so we get 6 of those. And those will allow us to do a drive-by shooting later against one of these enforcers and not risk ourselves in combat. Mortimer will come out and take a crack at one of these guys. All right, so we have a pair of 4s. We already did hustle, and in order to train our combat skills, we need 2 unequal dice. So typically you throw like a 1 or a 2 or 1 and 3 or some low non-pair in there. We do already have a patrol on the board, so we could target this patrol with Mortimer via calling it a drive-by. But if we can get some more action on the board, I think we'd probably do that first. Yeah, let's go ahead and just drive. So I'm going to put these over with him. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go all the way over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, if you will. We ended it in Rustwater, and that is 4 4s right here. So that almost caused a conflict between us and Nash. It would have been Sly and Nash, but not quite. All right, so that's 1 turn. We didn't do any heist locations, we didn't trigger any patrols, so just next day. Cross off a day. Oh, that's pretty great. All right, Ghost, you're gonna get your steps in today. Let's go ahead and just do that, because that is very good at this stage of the game. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then that's a 6, 6, so he's gonna go in this bottom corner. Hang out there. That's another patrol for Ace. Okay, the pair of 1s, that almost just demands to be put into this section. We could level up a skill. I think we're kind of good on that for now. We're going to probably just go with getting more money. So we're going to give all this money to Sly, bringing him up to $500. He had $100 left. With muscle, we gain the sub-action muscle. We gain $400, and you can split it however you want. All right, so we have a 5 4. Looks like a drive again, probably. No, I think we actually split that up a bit. So we're going to actually put this search in 4, and we're going to cross off one of a hat. Get one of those. There's no clue sets in this one. We know where the hostages already are being kept from our other investigations. But say when you gain a hat, you just gain it over here. I will gain a pair of mitts. This one here, that's 2, and you got 2 left. I can do one of these, that gives us a level of guff and panache. And then with the last one, I guess, yeah, I'll just grab a clue set, this corner bottom right clue piece, so we are moving towards our objective there. So we have 1 out of 12 of the pieces. Okay, so I do have 6 shotgun shells, and we have this patrol. Here is actually kind of in a bad spot. We probably want to go through here later. So, and Mick has low dodge, so that actually kind of helps. So we're actually going to spend 5 of our shotgun shells, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to clear out this patrol. So he's waiting for us, but we send Mortimer to him to attack him instead. And this resolves at the end of the day phase. But we already did all our other day phase actions, so we don't have to wait for anything. So had we intercepted his patrol, we would have been able to intercede that dusk phase encounter, it's called, or the fighting, by calling in Mortimer instead. But we weren't at risk of that. We were just knocking it out preemptively. Okay, so 5 dice. I just got to beat his dodge of 14 on 5 dice. So our odds are pretty good. And it doesn't look great. That's a lot of ones. So that's a 9, 10, 11, 12. That was a disaster. So he got away unscathed, and we lost 5 or 6 shotgun shells. And at least we cleared the patrol out, though. So he's smart enough not to return to an area where someone unloaded a shotgun on him, even if they missed. Huh? All right, so we're going to go into the next day, as we didn't trigger any heists or have any other resolved dusk phase encounters to do of fighting. And we will roll again. Okay, what do we got here? This is opportune time to do some training, so we'll do a 1, 2. And I'm just actually going to boost acrobatics twice, so we get something out of it. And these will help us when we're actually in conflict. Our combat skills are down here. All right, so I think we just do more walking with 5, 3. And then we have another pair, and we might drive with that even. Kind of want to get up in the upper right corner. 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is that movement there, and that's 3, 5. So that's going to put another diamond patrol in this corner. Could have gone 3, 5 here, which would trigger the combat, but still pushing the combat off a bit. We just upgraded our first combat skill, so we're not quite ready, I don't think. Okay, then we have a pair, and it's not a bad pair. 2 3s, we can move around a little bit with that, so I think we move with that. We're going to drive, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's going to put another patrol, a square patrol, because Sly drove on 3, 3. Okay, we're rapidly running out of time, so we need to get some heists, but with nothing else triggered, we didn't do a drive-by, no patrols, no heists, we just go on the next day. Okay, let's see. I think we use this for movements. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would work. Let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some painful backtracking in there, but that's all right. And we're actually going to put this diamond patrol in 4, 4, which will trigger a combat. But his aim is the lowest of the bunch, so I think we'll get away fairly easily. We're actually going to put the 1. That is challenging. I think we got to use the pair for hustling. No, we got to do a search though. We must search something tonight. I think we got to throw the 4 into search, and we're going to bump off 2 of these magnifying glasses. Give us another skill. 1, 2 gets us the next threshold there. We're going to have to go for a heist, and we are going to grab what else? Well, got to grab these puzzle pieces before too long. So that's a bottom left corner, so we'll take that one out of contention. That's all 4. So we're heading for a heist tonight. I think I'm going to do some street smarts and just level up a team skill twice. I'm just going to grab luck and then luck again, so I get another benefit out of that one. And with this last 3, I don't think we even get to do anything. Yeah, we don't have anything to do with the 3, so it's lost. All right, so 2 things happened. So we didn't do a drive-by, so we can't intercede this patrol. And we're gonna have a fight between Skyline and Ghost. All right, so first we'll do that. This happens in the dusk phase before the night phase of the heist. Okay, so to do this, we will look at his dodge. He has 16 dodge and 14 aim. So he actually has the highest dodge out of the group, so he's the hardest to hit, but his aim is the worst. And here we have this amount of exertion to spend for the entire episode to keep Ghost out of harm's way. and we have this many bullets. So right now we have 6 times 4 bullets, and a bulletproof vest, which will add 5 dodge if we consume it. So that's kind of the general outline here. And the sequence of combat is we first roll for katana. You can find all this in the rule book. And oh my, well, that worked out quite well. So if we get a 6, Skyline immediately takes a damage. So we're going to go and knock him down one hit point. And if he would have been lower on health and we knocked him out his final hit point out with the 6, then the fight would have been over and we win. Next, we're going to go into rolling and locking die. For this section, you pick if you're going to go for aim or for dodge, but you can't mingle your dice together. And you only have 4 positions to lock for aim and 4 for dodge. So to put it simply, the entire combat system is you're trying to roll really high in aim and dodge, but you got to do that with splitting your dice, right? Because to beat a 14, we're going to need at least the sum of 3 dice. So 18 is the max on 3, right? And 18 is the max on the other 3. So we'd have to do it on both sides of things. Okay, so well, we did hit him. That was unexpected. So that kind of changes the whole calculation. I was just going to run away, but the fact we hit him now kind of changes the situation a bit. So let's just roll 5 dice. We're going to spend the 5 exertion, and now this 5 exertion is gone for the complete episode. So you got to be kind of conservative with spending this stuff. Okay, well that is quite nice. We're going to do 2 6s. We're going to lock those to dodge. And the fact we don't have any other decent dice is kind of bad. I need to beat a 14, so I need to get to 15. However, I do have acrobatics, so per dodge roll, you may discard a matching die to add its value to any other unlocked dodge die, and it's a 1. So I could discard the 1 to make this 3 a 4, and that is enough already to beat him. So we're at 16 here. It's 12 plus 4, 16. So that beats him right off the bat, and I think we do that, so we're going to do that. Now, hitting him, we need a 17 or an 18. That means, we'd need 2 6s and a 5 or 3 6s. This wasn't rolled, this is just set aside. And even if this was rolled right now, I would not be able to lock it to aim because this is still resolving a dodge roll. We're avoiding the hit. He's just really hard to hit. I think we probably just vamoose. So we're going to end the combat. Combat either ends when all your dice are locked or when you just opt to not roll anymore. Gosh, but we have so much ammo. Okay, sorry for being so indecisive. We're going to go for it. We're going to roll 3 dice. This is probably a bad idea. Well, there's a 5. So that kind of works. Let's see if we need all 6s. So I'm going to use 2 more bullets here. Another 5 won't cut it. So I'm going to use a bullet here and then a bullet on this chamber. Still won't cut it. Let's roll 2 more bullets here. A lot of 5s. I'm just going to do a couple more rounds if I don't get it here. All right, so that's it. Yeah, that was a bad idea. We didn't have any upgraded target practice, so that was pretty unwise to try to hit the hardest to hit guy in the game, but just want to show how that worked. So there we go. We end combat, and since we have higher dodge than his aim, we avoid getting hit by him, but since we didn't beat his dodge with our aim, we don't hit him again. So the only hit we got was from the katana. That ends the combat. Now, that's the end of the dusk phase. We go into the heist. So we're going to go find the corresponding heist location here, which is Bodega 2, and we'll dive into that. So we're going to put this over here. We're going to roll for luck, which is 4. And fill this in. We got a 2, 4, 4, and a 5. All right, so now we begin. So I'm going to just roll 6. We knock this one off pretty quickly. And when the door is here, so we're going to go with a 6, a 5, and a 1. Right down the side. And we need a 2 over here, because this is a tripwire. which needs the sum to be 7. And then we're going to put another 2 here and another 6 here. And that way we can use one of these 4s already to fill this lock in. We can use the other 2 up here and then use this 4 over here. And then we'll roll again. I'm going to roll 5 dice this time. And what do we got? So we need a 1 for this. And if that's a 1, because that one will be a 1 once we get a 1, then if this is a 5, then this could be a 6. So that's our 5, 6. And now we need well, we have this other 5. So that's, we're going to do a 2 here. And we know that this 5 would need to go here. So I'll do that. And we will put the 3 here. And now that we're adjacent to the vault, we can put a number in the vault. It's a really low vault though, it's a 9. So we need to put really low numbers in this. 3 is almost even too much. So do we want to use any of our skills? We could flip a 3, that's a 4 though, that makes that problem even worse. We can't reduce it any lower. So I think we just actually gonna discard it. Now, you'll notice that this is different than the other heists. The stumble system is replaced with a security system in episode 4. The amount of security is going up in the city as the crime goes up, right? So we're going to discard the 3, but instead of just marking a pip, we actually write the 3 into the leftmost available spot here. These will create additional patrols on the map after the heist is concluded. And if they're all filled out, we end the heist like we would with stumbles. Okay, so that was our completed roll there. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things left. I'm just gonna use another 6. Yeah, so I won't be able to use another 6 after that though. Oof, a lot of high numbers, very bad. Okay, let's see how well we can do with this. The 2, we're definitely gonna put that here because it's the lowest. We are going to, this would need a 2 as well, and that's a little bit unfortunate. I could get rid of a 4 or a 3. I could get rid of a 3 with our Moxie and Guile skill to turn one of these, discount it by 3 to a 2. And that 2 can go into this lock. And then we will, what else we got here? We'll use a lot of exertion to get out of this pickle. I think we use don't want to use that though. Can't use that one. What else do we do here? We are going to just use a 5 to discount this one to a 1 using Moxie and Guile. I'm going to put that 1 over here. Okay, that's the 1. Now we need another 1 over here. Yikes, okay. What else can we get away with here though? It could be a 5 and then we would need a 3. That's acceptable. Let's put that. Okay. What else? We can't do that. 5, let's see. Okay, let's do that. So we're going to actually flip. I'm going to mark off we'll mark off a 4 to reduce this 5 by 4 down to a 1 and put it over here. Now to finish this area off, we'll just need a 5, which I just got rid of. So that's too bad. But I think their best bet for this number is to, yeah, okay, I think we discarded. I don't think we have anything better to do with it. So we're gonna put a 3, 6, and we'll see if that has any effect on us when we reveal the board. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna roll 2 dice. No, I need to roll at least 3 and hope that these are good. All right, that's not so bad. All right, so this is, okay, well, 3 does work here. So we're going to clear that off. The 1 does work there. That's what we needed. And then our 4 is not quite what we need. So this is a 2, 3, 4. If we put a 4 here, we'll have 8. We must have a 9. So I could spin to 4 to flip this, and then I could spin it. No, I can't do that either. I think we just put the 4 in here. Okay, now we do have grit and finesse at a pretty good level, and this allows us to spin an exertion as if it were a number on Easy Street. We can do that with a 4+. So we could do that. I think that might work without getting too deep in analysis paralysis. Let's go and just give it a go. So I'm going to spin the 5 and put this here. All right, very good. So we finished it. We have no 5s. So we complete the vault. That counts towards our objectives. Boom. We get the reward, which is just 300 bucks, not that much. But the vault has 500, so we're going to get 800 total. We only had 1 siren here too, so any wrong answers would have immediately ended the heist. Pretty high stakes. So we're going to split that money evenly. We're going to go 800. He had 400, so we're going to give him half, and we'll slide the other half, so he goes to 900. And then we are now in the arson phase. So we will slide the board over like usual. And now our resolve skill allows us to cross off a row and a column of the number instead of just a row or a column for prior cleanups. So now the arson phase, the goal is to make a fire trail basically between the door and the fire icon. And that will burn the whole building down and count towards another one of our objectives over here. Okay, can we do that? We have no 5s. So this center path I will not be able to take. I'll have to move around it. I'm going to use a 6, and I'm going to choose this area here. So it chooses this row and this column basically. So here and here. So you're basically just choosing a point, and then you count, like a T from that section of what it crosses out. Okay, we need the 2s. So I'm going to spend a 2 here, which will go down, burning this one out, and then burning the ones out along this way. Okay. These 5s are still in the way, but that's okay. We have this 3 we're going to burn here, and there's no other 3s on this intersect here, so that's fine. We have these 4s though coming to the rescue, so I'm going to use the 4 here. Also burns this one out, doesn't matter. There's no suspicion in this episode. The city's in a state of chaos, so we're just burning these places down. So using the 4s and the 3s, I was able to create this bridge that burned it down to the icon. So we're able to burn the building down. So that's another objective complete. And now the last thing we must resolve is the security system. So we will put a new patrol on 3-6 in Rustwater. So 3-6 is right here. Now 6-3 would have been here. So the order does matter a bit for these, and these do care about XY coordinates, as they say right here, XY. So when we do this, we can choose which of our characters kind of patrols we want to put here. We'll put Sly because he doesn't have that many out on him. So we'll go like that and put a square patrol on 3-6. And we could have done a diamond one, but we'll just use that one. Okay, that's one heist. Now, but we added another vault and a arson, so pretty good. Now let's go and cross up another day and roll some more dice on the next day phase. And now if that patrol would have landed on our investigation path, it would have caused what is called a dawn encounter, the dawn phase. It's the same combat system, just happening before you go into the next day phase as a result of the heist, rather than at the end of the day phase. Okay, so we crossed off a day, we're going to the next day. We have a 5 and a 6, that's pretty great. What else can we do here? We could get more ammo with these 2s, but we can't spend a lot of the ammo unless we use this 6. Interesting. I think we're gonna go with, I'll actually use this and unload. So I'm gonna go reload on ammunition. We're gonna send both characters there. Ghost is gonna buy some more ammo. He's gonna buy 2 more one more here. He already has one here and his max is 4, so it's actually gonna keep one of them. So he just spent bought one more cartridge of ammunition. And then Sly's gonna spend all of his money down to 0 on more shotgun shells. If it didn't work the first time, it must eventually work, right? So that's gonna be 6 more shotgun shells for 900 bucks. Okay, so now you're seeing probably what I'm doing with this, right? Can we search 3 things? We can. So we're gonna search 3 things, upgrading resolve, as we saw how good that ability was. We are going to cross off this puzzle piece towards the big picture. And then with the last one, we're gonna do another heist. Okay, and then we have this 6, which we're gonna call in a drive-by, but before we resolve that, we need to do this investigation. So, where do we wanna go? Want to bump off a lot of smaller places or go for the big money? I don't know. Let's go. 5. Okay, let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'll put 3, 5 right here in a diamond patrol. Okay, and then we're going to call in the drive-by with 6. So we're going to cross off this other shell we had over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down to 1 again. We can't miss with this many dice, right? You'd assume. We don't have any other patrols. We don't have no dusk phase encounter, so we don't want to like head off any patrol with the drive-by. We're just targeting a drive-by. Where do we want to clear out? This one's already been resolved. This one's kind of in a bad spot. We kind of probably want to get up there at some point. Let's bump, yeah, well, no. Pretend I didn't put that there. Well, we're gonna go here. We're actually gonna target Skyline again, even though we got 16 dodge. We got 6 dice, so this should work. That'll do it. So here is 10, here is 16, and that puts us to 19. So we're actually targeting the hardest to hit person, but it is working. All right, so he's down 1. Now we're gonna heist this location, which is the chemical factory in Gravestone Terrace. All right, so we start this with 4 on Easy Street, 2, 4, 6, 6. And let's see, okay, we got a lot of traps, a lot of motion sensors, and a lot of tripwires, and then the vault is over here. Okay, let's go ahead and start off using a 6. Now, as you noticed in the prior arson, the numbers that are adjacent to the arson icon and the door are the most critical, because if you do not have the number to cross off remaining, there's no way you can successfully arson that location. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so we're gonna put a 2 here, put a 1 here, and a 6 here. I want to get to the vault pretty much as quickly as possible. We can put a 5 here, and it's a lower range vault as well. We're going to put a 4 here, and now we're next to the vault. We can start inputting numbers into the vault. I'll put a 1. Okay. I don't know. I'm just feeling a 3 for some reason. Let's go for a 3. All right. So. Do a 4 in this corner. Shouldn't do any harm to us. And if I do a 5 here, that will mean that this must be a 2, and we do have a 2, so let's go and just use that. And I can put a 1 up here. That's innocuous. All right, I'm gonna roll a 5. Okay, I'm gonna do a 2 here, and a 2 here. And that is going to be, we just need a 5 here, which we don't have, but I'm sure we'll get over the course of this round. So we're going to put a 6 here in this motion sensor. No 6s orthogonally adjacent to it, and it means we can put a 3 here. We could put the other 6 here, that's fine. Okay, so this is kind of easy breezy so far. Let's see, 4 dice. still no 5. We could put a 3 and a 4 here. And then put a 3 here and a 4 here. Okay, a lot of 3 4s in the middle. So let's use a 2. Fishing for a 5. Need a 4 there. This one is going to be a 4, so this one could be a 6, and it wouldn't cause us any grief. What else do we want in here? I don't really want to put a 2 in the fire. What we're expecting to use is the fire line. So a 2 here is just not great. A 5 would be, well, we have a 2 there. Yeah, actually 2 is not awful. Let's do that. Okay, now we have a lot of numbers on Easy Street. Let's try to use those before they are lost. Could put a 4 here. That means we'll need a 3 for this one. And we have 2 6s. These 6s kind of seem a little bit not so great. Actually, we can put one here. This other one we really can't use, I think, at all. But, you know, that's what we get for waiting. So, all right, I'm going to roll 4 more. And what do we got? The 3 here is nice. That includes that tripwire. Still another 5. Maybe I hope I didn't miss a 5. Did I not see it or what? All right, 4 here works. Oh, 4 here that works as well, actually. 4 will go there. We just need anything but a 6 for this. And we can't, we do have quite a bit of extra exertion here. I'm gonna use a 6 to use guff to flip a matching die to a 1 and just use the 1 here. And that clears that out. Now, still need a vault of 5, but I don't want to roll again. Risks too much security system stuff, so I'm going to use grit again. Maybe my favorite ability. And cross off a 5 just to put a 5 in here. Boom, useful. All right, so that concludes this heist. We get 500 bucks in loot. We had no sirens, and our vault was 500 bucks as well. So 1,000 bucks. Sly has no money. He's footing the bill for all these shotgun shells and drive-bys, so we're going to give it all to him. And then we will go to the next phase. So no security system stuff. So now we are in arson phase. Can we burn the place down in time? All right, so we have a 6, and 6 is, you know, above our resolve skills, so we can do the intersect idea with that, but it didn't matter either way because we only need to knock this specific 6 off. So we'd use that with a 4. Which is part of the skill, so we gotta go row and column. Doesn't matter again, because we're really only trying to get the 2. So let's actually just take the 2 out of the situation, so I don't have to worry about resolve. So we'll pick the 2 here. Now I don't have resolve of 2, so I would have to use it 2 2s to get the row and the column, but I did store an extra one for that exact reason. So I'm gonna use the first 2 to knock this one out, and then the second one to knock this one out, going this direction, but it did cost both of those. Okay, so now with the 3s, I just need to knock this one out and this one out. I could do row and column. It doesn't matter because we just need to get this 5, and we saved a 5 for that. So kind of close, but it did work out. So there's our fire path. Boom. That's an arson. That's another building burned down. And we got the vault, so that's another vault. Okay, cool. So that's end of heist. And next day, and we'll just show one more combat. So sometimes you want to avoid the patrols, but since it is the objective to defeat 2 of these enforcers in combat, if you haven't done it, you kind of need to like go find the patrols and go seek them out sometimes. So they're kind of a mixed bag in that regard. Let's use the 5-5. Bloop. We'll use the 2-3 for leveling stuff up. I'm going to level up target practice once and twice. Could split it, but it's not going to make any difference in this context. With the 5-5, this one's on the line between 2 regions, so I can resolve that with either enforcer when I go into combat. So that will matter here. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I think so we're going to trigger that encounter at dusk. And we don't have a pair, so I can't go buy more shotgun shells with this newly found ammunition, but We could search. We could just do some more driving. Let's just do some more driving. 1, 2. We're gonna go over 2 with the drive and then up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that puts it at 2, 4. So I'm gonna put another drive or square or sly oriented patrol here. And then we go into the dusk phase. So no heists, so no night phase, but we have this patrol to resolve here. Boom. So we're gonna cross that off and go into that phase. Now we're fighting Skyline again, because why not, right? He's already half health. They have more health than you do too. You want to note that we have 3 health, they have 4 each, so they can out tank us, if you will. All right, so we do have the katana. No, we don't. Sorry, this is Sly. What am I thinking? He has no katana. He's not that well suited for combat right now, just because he doesn't have the katana. But he's good in a pinch too. Let's see what we can do. Let's go for the shot first. So we're gonna actually just spend all 6 ammo. Empty a whole magazine in his direction. And let's see what we can get. That's kind of bad, but yeah, we don't have target practice of 4, but only have target practice of 5. So I could re-roll, I could spend a 5 to re-roll 5 dice. Or I could spend 4 to re-roll 4 dice if I had 1 more level on this, basically to there. But we don't. So we really only just have a 6 that's useful, but that will work. So we're gonna lock that into aim, and well, Sly has a lot of ammo. So we'll just use 5 bullets. Now we can't use 6 bullets again because we only have 5 dice remaining. So I will roll 5. That'll do it. So that's 2 more 6s. That's 18 aim. Now he has 14 aim himself. So we need to be able to beat a 14 with the remaining 3 dice. Now I can't use a higher than a 3 exertion because once again we only have 3 dice. So I will have to use a 3. And he does have acrobatics too. They both have the same combat levels of skills, so that's pretty useful. We're going to use acrobatics. Per dodge roll, you can discard a matching die to add its value to any other unlocked die. So we're going to use this. We're going to boost this up to a 6. We're going to lock that die. And now we can't use another 3 exertion because we only have 2 dice. So we're going to use the 2, and let's see if we can get there. That is not, I think that might even do it right there. So that is going to be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 against his 14 aim. So we can actually just, that's it. That's all we need to do. We don't even need to use a bulletproof vest. Had we rolled really badly here, like some 1s or 2s, I might have used the bulletproof vest to add 5 flat to the dodge, so we could just get out without being harmed. So that'll do it. So we did hit him with our aim, and we did avoid his attack with the dodge. So that is that. That's all we need for this conflict. He only has 1 hit left, and he's out of the picture. Okay, so we would go into the next week and continue, and all the stuff you've seen, but I think you've seen everything so far, so yeah, hopefully you enjoy the episode, and we'll see you on the next one.